One of the hardest parts about being single and living alone is having to self-soothe. Like, in the times when you are feeling your lowest and all you want to do is cry it out, it's hard. And I miss the not having somebody to just hold you, when there's nothing that can be said or done. You just need somebody to hold you and tell you that it's going to be okay. Instead, you have to hold yourself. You have to find a way to self-soothe. And I'm not saying it doesn't make you stronger. It absolutely does. And it's for the best. And I would still rather be on my own and lonely than lonely in an actual relationship. So I'm not saying that, but come on. It's fucking hard, isn't it? That whole idea of having to wipe your own tears and tell yourself that it's going to be okay. And then just getting on with it.
A woman doesn't recognize a man's worth until the wall shows her what she lost. When the music stops and the party's over, she looks around and realizes everyone has someone, except her. Today, we'll take a look at several of these women. The one facing surgery alone, the one crying in her car, and the Christian who ended up pregnant by a Chad who used to ask her for her Bible. You've got to be careful when they go out preaching. Welcome to the wall. Let's get started.
Question for all of these single moms of boys. Do you ever feel like you're failing as a parent because you've yet to find somebody to be a father figure in your children's lives? Or is that just me? Because my husband passed away when I was 3 months pregnant with my youngest son, who is now 5. And I have yet to find somebody to be that for my boys. My dad passed away when I was 11, and my husband's dad passed away last year. So my kids literally don't have that steady father figure in their lives. And I feel like as a mom, I'm failing them. You hear about statistics of single moms with boys. And it just weighs so heavy on my chest. Because I see how they grasp onto that male figure in my uncles and my male cousins. And I know that they want that in this household. And I feel like I can't. My picker's broken. And it just sucks. It sucks. Dating in your 30s as a single mom sucks. That's all I got.
I'm going to stick up for this woman and say that men could give her a chance. This isn't a woman who walked out on her marriage or had a child with some irresponsible Chad. She's a woman who had the misfortune of losing her husband and became a widow. I think any single father, a man in his 30s or 35, could give her a chance. She might actually make a good wife, because she already was one if she stayed by her husband's side until he passed. Of course, I'm assuming he died of an illness. But single mothers should be dating single fathers. There are plenty of good men out there who just had the bad luck of ending up with the wrong woman and became single dads. Like I said, I don't see anything wrong with giving a widow a chance.
You know what a real struggle is when you are single is when you are either sick or you have a medical appointment that you need some help with, or you've got a medical emergency, or maybe you just have a head cold or the flu at home and you have no one to take care of you. I'm Beth. I am on a self-love journey. I'm embracing my single life. I am 35. I would love to be married and have a family, but I also am not trying to wait for someone to come complete me. So I'm trying to enjoy my life as it is, but I am having a hard time sometimes when it comes to being by myself when I need help with something. I recently found out that I actually have to have surgery on my hip. I'm having some hip pain. I've had it for about a year now. I danced when I was younger, so it was probably inevitable, but amount of planning that I'm having to do right now to prepare for the surgery is exhausting. I'm fortunate enough that I have family that's in town. I will be staying with my parents. And because it's about a 3-week recovery where I will not be able to walk on my leg at all. But I have a dog and my dog is very jumpy. So my best friend is actually going to watch my dog for the first week, which I'm very grateful for. And then I've got friends that are saying they are going to do potentially like a meal train, and that's fantastic. But I had to call every single person and ask for help. Of course, my family will drop everything to help me, but not everybody has a family like that. Not everybody lives near people where they can have help. Not everyone maybe has as close as friends. And so when you're single and you do not have a dedicated partner to help you, it's 3 times as hard. And it's mentally exhausting because you're having to make all the decisions. And I know it's not just single people. I know people who are married also need help as well because you've got family, you've got kids, and you also need help. But I just kind of want to throw it out there that people who are single, it's an extra kind of hurdle that we have to get over because mentally I'm also dealing with the fact that I'm single. So no one wants to be with me. So therefore no one wants to take care of me. So I'm a burden. There's a lot of things going on in my brain. So single friends, I feel you. I'm with you. I understand your pain. So let me know if you've experienced this as well.
A lot of women were sold the idea that being single meant freedom, that being independent, traveling, and living life was the path to happiness. But reality hits after 30, when the party's over and they realize that having a partner isn't just about romance. It's about structure, support, and meaning. A man in the home doesn't just help with expenses, he brings purpose. He's the one who brings balance, who calms the mind when life gets heavy. The women who built a home early, who chose stability, now live with less anxiety and more direction. What used to be called submission turned out to be true peace. That's why you almost never see a happily married woman talking about feminism. A woman who loves her husband isn't looking for a fight. She's looking for peace. This woman is lucky to have her parents close, because without them, she'd be lost. And no matter how many narratives they try to sell, the truth doesn't change. A man is still essential. The wall makes sure to remind them, one by one.
Y'all, I'm sitting in my car because I found out some crazy fucking shit. And I went back in my mind and I figured this shit out. Not completely, but y'all, I think the man that I had a child with, I think he's gotta be like some sort of fucking predator and his brother are up to some shit together. I'm going back and I'm seeing everything The whole time I was dumb and I was naive and I didn't realize what I was getting myself into. And now I'm scared because I think I fucked up. I think I fucked up big time. And I have a child with this man and I don't know what to do. I know it's not okay. This isn't good. I don't even know how to explain it with it making sense to anyone. And I knew it when I first saw him, something was off, but I ignored that feeling because when I first met him in person, because we met online, I met him and I was walking towards the bathroom because he was in the Target bathroom. We were meeting at Target. And he walked out of the bathroom. I was typing on my phone, texting him. And he said, "Hey, you." And I looked up. And as soon as I looked up at him, I felt something hit me in the chest. And it felt like something like knocked.
No, God! No, God, please, no! 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 No!
Brothers, responsibility is kryptonite to women. For a woman, having a child isn't like going to the store and picking something off a shelf. You had to date the guy, you had to open the door to your life and let him in, and most importantly, you had to sleep with him. Where's your responsibility in all that? You knew, but you ignored it. You did it because you were into that man, because he was a Chad you wanted to sleep with. You got pregnant because you didn't take precautions. Now you're realizing the guy's a predator. And let's pause here, because we don't really know why she's calling him that or what exactly he did. But one thing we do know, she met him online and had his kid. That doesn't happen overnight. So let's not pretend you were all that Christian. Let's keep going.
And we would FaceTime every day. And I remember one time when he sent me pictures of himself and we were talking about what each other looked like. I clearly, vividly remember this picture of him he was laying on the floor, his arm was up like this, and he had like a perm, and he had a stud in his nose. And I remember I was swiping through the pictures he sent me, and I looked at that picture, and I was like, I don't remember seeing him on FaceTime having a stud in his nose, nor do any of these other pictures, nor does he have curly hair. And I was like, that's weird. I was like, maybe that, and he also looked like more buff at the time. And I was like, maybe that's just like an older picture. And, he doesn't have perm anymore, and he doesn't have a nose ring, blah, blah, blah. Now I'm getting on a whole nother thing. And now I found out that the brother that I gave him Bibles for is the man in the picture that he sent me that he looks like. So the whole time, they was sending me pictures of what he looked like. Some of them was of himself, and then half of them was of his brother. Because they look identical other than the nose ring and the hair. Hunter has straight hair, no nose ring, and he's skinnier. While his brother's name is Trenton, which I just found out from this lady that sent me his profile through TikTok, has a perm and has a nose ring. And I remember he asked me to bring him Bibles, so I brought Hunter Bibles when I saw him. Hunter took a picture of the Bibles when we got in his car, sent them to his brother. And I remember his brother and him FaceTime for a second while I was sitting in the passenger seat. I don't remember what I was doing, but I remember they were talking for a little bit. I don't even know what they were saying. I don't know. I wasn't paying full attention because I was minding my own business in the passenger seat. And I got a glimpse of his brother, and he had blonde hair. I didn't think anything of it. But after I just looked at the Facebook profile of his brother has blonde hair. And the pictures that he sent me was his brother, and I can confirm that 100%. And it's making me look back. And I know that Hunter never told me that he had any other siblings. Didn't talk about anyone else in his family other than his brother. And I think him and his brother are up to some weird shit. And they're in on it together. And I think I'm panicking right now because I'm looking back and I'm seeing how this is so fucked. I think he took those Bibles as like a trophy, as another one that he got. Because I know he did this with another girl and has a kid with another girl. And she lives in like Kentucky or something like that. And he does this with online and meets women.
So the church girl let Chad open her Bible. This story doesn't add up. How do you FaceTime with a guy every day, get his pictures, talk to him constantly, and then claim you confused him with his identical brother? You didn't recognize him when you were sleeping with him, but suddenly you do now that everything went wrong. And now he's supposedly a predator? No, he's just a womanizer, and you fell for him because you wanted to. He did what every Chad does. Use charm and looks to reel in women who say they want a good man, but deep down melt for the ones who are no good. And now she plays the victim, like her faith makes her innocent. If you were really Christian, when did you give him the Bible? When did he go with you to church? When did you show up together as a couple? Looks more like you were preaching with your body, not with the word. You know what I'm saying, brothers? But let's keep going.
Women.
And I know his brother's involved in it. He told me that he was living with his brother when I got in contact with him recently because I told him about his daughter. I didn't know all this was going on. If you haven't followed with my story, it probably doesn't make sense to you. I need to probably make a whole new video on that because now I'm looking at this whole entire thing completely different. And now I'm realizing that my parents were protecting me from him because he's crazy. He's fucking crazy. I don't know if they're in some like trafficking thing or what, but they're young. I don't know. They're up to something that's not good. Hunter gave me a fake address and location that he was living at with his brother, and I just found his real one that him and his brother are actually living at. This whole time he's been lying about everything, and he still lies about everything. I don't know. I think and I fucked up because I filed for child support and everything, and he knows about his daughter, and I'm scared because I think this whole thing was a game. I think he's sick. I think he's satanic or some shit. And I got trapped or something. I don't know, or what was going to be. And I know something doesn't add up because it's not. And I don't know how to explain it. I don't know. I need a minute.
The guy uses dating apps to sleep with women. Just like you slept with him, so do others. He's a womanizer, not a predator. Remember, fellas, only the top 20% of men succeed on dating apps. That means the best looking or the ones with money. If she slept with him more than once and ended up pregnant, he clearly wasn't unattractive. So let's cut the nonsense about I didn't know or I was lost, because you don't get pregnant without intimacy. After sleeping with him, what? Did you get amnesia? Like I said, responsibility is kryptonite for women. While she was dating Chad, she had blinders on. When her father told her the guy wasn't right for her, it's because they saw what he was, too, but she still loved her man. Now she's a single mom. Now he's suddenly a predator. Now she finds out he has another daughter, that he's messed up after he's long gone. He didn't even know about the kid he had with her. I can already picture the parents raising Chad's child, because the Christian girl was out there preaching the word. You really can't make this crap up. We've reached the end of the video, but before we go, the questions are for you. What do you think about the story of this Christian girl? Would you give a chance to a woman with kids who was left a widow? If you enjoyed the video, make sure to give it a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, and hit the notification bell. Your support means the world to us and motivates us to create more content. Stay tuned for the next exciting video from the wall.